Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination.
Hey everybody, episode 3.9 of the Big Bucket of Chicken video podcast extravaganza. Kevin McClure, how are you?
Doing great, thank you so much.
Doing great.
So,
Great. Me too. I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying the well, for me it's only a 2-day Labor Day weekend, but I'm enjoying it. I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so yay! Last night drank at your place, and today I just did the most amazing thing. I ate all day, like had a sandwich, had a bagel, ice cream, just ate a bowl. Just ate. Anytime I had a little craving, just went downstairs and just shoveled something in my face. It felt good.
is that why there's like chicken bones in your beard right now?
It's not. There's no chicken bones in my beard. Fuck you. But my beard does look a little like I've been laying around eating all day. That's exactly what it looks like. Like you notice like your beard gets like personality. Like I was driving to your house last night, had the windows open because it's been cool. Like I have my window open now. The AC's not on. It's like 70 degrees. It's beautiful. But I noticed like yesterday I was driving to your house, it was like 80, and my beard's like whipping up and like getting in my like somehow like even though I can't do it now, even if I wanted to, the wind like lengthens the hair. It's like getting in my eye. It's like going in my mouth. I'm like, eh. So that's like I guess that's like a problem I have now. So I want to start the
That's stuff we categorize as white people problems, by the way.
yeah, well, white people / Muslim problems. I'll say. I mean, there's got to be a couple. There's got to be a couple like ISIS guys are like, could I just cut the beard, please? I can't get falafel and it's like no, Hamed. Anyway, we have a look. We have a whole thing going. Come on, man. We have a whole thing. And so I wanted to start the show on a bit of a sad note. As everyone knows, this past week, our favorite, I guess. I don't know. I would say my favorite actor, but Gene Wilder died, and Willy Wonka is by far in my top 3 favorite movies of all time. It really is. It really is top 3. It definitely like altered my weirdness growing up as a child, and just you fell in love with the character. Like Willy Wonka, the tunnel scene, of course, is my favorite scene of all time. Him just losing his mind in a tunnel. Road and home again. Like it's supposed to be like a poem, and he just like totally ad-libbed. And when you see, apparently when you see the people like jump back, and he's like Gah! Like he really is like fucking scaring them. And apparently he was a real gentle guy. I watched interviews with him. I was watching a bunch of shit yesterday and this morning.
I was too, actually, yesterday.
Yeah, so he's been in a lot of movies, a ton of movies, and obviously a lot of the Mel Brooks movies. He did, Young Frankenstein. He was in The Producers. He was in The Producers on Broadway. He was in
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. I'm not a huge. I like Mel Brooks. I think Mel Brooks is amazing. I can't like quote those movies. I didn't grow up with those movies.
His first movie actually was Bonnie and Clyde. He was in. He was
Gene
in
Wilder?
Yeah, he was in Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, he
Is
was.
that his first movie? Is that before the? Is that before?
Yeah, that's like his first movie, and he's one of the guys. He's the husband in the couple that they kidnap, and then
I know who he is in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. It's his first movie. It's 1967.
So, but did he do The Producers before that?
No, that was after. That was 2 years afterwards.
See, because what Mel Brooks tells the story, Mel Brooks makes it out like he was doing plays, and then he found him through his wife, Anne Bancroft.
I mean, that wasn't a big part. I mean, I think he's in the movie a collective like 15 minutes. But yeah, Gene Wilder definitely was most well known for his collaborations with Mel Brooks. He definitely was an underrated writer. I think a lot of people didn't realize that. And just the most clips I was watching this weekend was Young Frankenstein. And I remember watching Young Frankenstein and not being like a huge fan of it. But now seeing some of those clips and how like he really like threw himself into that role, I definitely want to see it again. I mean, the most famous scene is the putting on the Ritz thing that he does. Did you ever see that? I didn't realize how it's not him really that's funny. It's like Peter Boyle as Frankenstein. He's like, "Bring down the Ritz!" Like he says it in like this retarded voice. Like he's trying to repeat him. And I don't know. I thought it was awesome the second time I had watched it, and it was funny. Like thinking back, I was like, yeah, Willy Wonka is definitely one of those movies like you have to watch every time it's on. You finally remember it as a child. And then you think back, like, well, what else did I like him in? And there really wasn't a lot. It wasn't like everything I saw him on, I had to see it. There was a lot of bad movies with him. And I know you were talking about the ones with Richard Pryor. Some of them I found to be funny. They just weren't good movies because they definitely had a good chemistry going. But the coolest thing I found out about those two, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, is they were not friends. Like they did not like each other because Richard Pryor had the drug problems and I guess was very tough to deal with on set. And Gene Wilder's like this mild mannered guy who's like professional. But they did like 4 movies together. And he said, like, yeah, as soon as the camera would stop rolling, we just walk away. Like, there was nothing really we had in common. And we knew, though, like, when the camera rolled, something magical was here. But once the camera stopped rolling, it was like, all right, I'm going to go to my trailer. Go fuck yourself, Gene Wilder. Like, it's kind of strange, that's and he talks candidly about it in some of the last couple of interviews he does. He rarely did interviews because if you really think about it, when's the last time Gene Wilder did anything? If you look at his filmography, the last movie he did was 1999, and then he had some sporadic appearances on TV over the last like decade. But really, the bulk of his work was the mid 70s, to maybe up to like 1992. But other than that, I mean, you really didn't see anything. I don't know if you remember, Lou, but one of our favorite shows was Mr. Show with Bob and David, a sketch show on HBO for 4 seasons. And there was like this joke. It was like this fake newscast, and like the gist of the newscast was, the ghost of Gene Wilder began to prematurely haunt an elderly couple in eastern Connecticut. When reached for comment, the ghost of Gene Wilder says, "For Christ's sakes, will this guy drop already? He hasn't done anything for fucking ever." I always found that funny because I'm like, yeah, you're right. He hasn't done anything. Like, what is he doing?
Well, you know what it was? One of the last interviews, not interviews. I mean, it was like an hour long. The Y in New York City. There's like they actually interview people at the Y, like the YMCA.
Are you talking about the one with Robert Osborne interviewed him? Is that what that was?
I don't know who Robert Osborne is, so it
Oh,
could
okay.
be.
Was it like an old guy though interviewing?
Yeah, there was another white guy interviewed him. That's all I can tell you. But they
I think
talked
that's
about
the same one I watched.
he wrote like I think he wrote almost a dozen books, 7 maybe 8 books, and he not I think some of them were novels, some of them were comedy books. He was not only did he write comedy and screenplays and stuff. That's what he did the last 20 years of his life. He just wrote. He just was a writer.
If he didn't write like the Goosebumps books, I probably missed them though. I don't really read too much. So if he didn't do like Stay Out of the Basement.
No, I don't think he wrote like
I don't know. I guess I missed it in. Sorry.
Don't get me wrong. I've never read any of his books. I probably will look into some of his books now and see what's out there. Maybe go to the library and take one out. But like I said, it's Willy Wonka, and even though that movie when it came out it bombed, that movie bombed.
Yeah.
People over in England like walked out of the theaters. People here, same thing, walked out of the theaters. We're like, this is too dark for kids. This has got too adult content. Blah blah blah.
I will say that one thing that I remember from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is one of my favorite things to do at work or just in random situations is to start belting out the Oompa Loompa song, and people like they hate you because like they immediately start going, I am never gonna get this out of my fucking head the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So what I do is like someone would be like typing on the computer and they wouldn't see me and I just like creep up behind them and then I jump out like an Oompa Loompa and I'd be like, what do you get when you go so damn sweet? And then like I just finished the whole song and they're like, I fucking hate you. Because they knew it's an awesome song. And another thing I remember is that at college, when you were there, you had the little flute thing.
I still have it.
Yeah.
It's called
and
the penny
I thought that
whistle.
was great because it's like and like that it's immediately that memory goes in your head of just like how much you love that movie when you hear that flute.
Well, the one in the movie, I'm not sure if that's a real. It's called a penny whistle. I think that's like a prop because it's like the size of my cigarette in the movie. Just like it's like it's like hanging from his neck. The one I got, it's like the size of like a little shorter than a recorder. But that's all it is a skinny, and I could play that one tune where the tune when he called Oompa Loompas like, and like they would just show up. But what I wanted to say was the other thing I do it pretty often, not a lot, but pretty semi often. Someone's in the middle of a sentence, I just give them the "Good day, sir. You lose. You stole fizzy lifting drinks." Like just fucking, and then like in their face, and it's like put my nose in their mouth, like.
You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Another thing we like to do too is when he goes like, "Stop, no,
Oh,
don't."
that was the thing. The sarcasm, he was exposing all the, there's like that sub um, texture of the movie of like the materialism of like society, and when the kids are doing things they shouldn't, the parents it's all about bad parenting. Essentially, that's what the movie's about. Mike TV is gonna shrink himself and make him into a million little Mike TV pieces and go into the other TV, and that's what he's doing. Stop, don't.
Just even like little scenes like that where like the Oompa Loompa, he's like, "No, take him to the stretching room." And then like you hear like the Oompa Loompa like whispering into Willy Wonka's ear, and then he goes, "No, no, 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 you won't be held accountable. No."
All right, so Gene Wilder, rest in peace. We loved you, and who knows? Maybe you're in a universe that's made entirely of just your hair. That would be awesome. But so I want to talk about this, and you were a little hesitant when I brought it up. You're like, I don't know if this is gonna be funny. I think it's fucking hilarious. So I don't know if anyone's heard about this yet, but as you all know, Jared from Subway, Jared Fogle, is in jail because of child pornography and molestation. So he actually like fucked some of these kids, not just licked them on the computer. So in March, apparently this girl sued him for what he did to her. So I'm assuming he actually physically raped this girl, which is awful. So she's underage. Now he is countersuing the parents. Now the lawsuit is, and this is what I read. Short articles. It's all fucking because he's a celebrity. There's not a lot of details. It's more like, hey, this is what's happening, and guess what, Jared? Subway's stock is going through the roof right now. You think it wouldn't be, but it probably is. And basically, he's suing the parents because, I mean, the logic here, the balls of this fucking fruitcake is so insane. That's why I think it's fucking hilarious. He's suing the parents, saying if they hadn't fought so much and had such a tumultuous relationship and ignored the girl, made her depressed, she wouldn't have gotten the position where he can get to her to rape her. Like, what the fuck? He's suing them, saying like, well, if you guys had a better household, she wouldn't have been like up for grabs on like the internet or however he fucking met her. And God, that's balls, man. Like, you're in jail, and I think he's doing what, 12 years, 13 years. It's not like it's a life sentence, yeah.
15 years.
So unless someone stabs you with a screwdriver in the face in the shower or rapes you to death, which I assume is going to happen, you're gonna come out of jail. You're gonna still be alive, and this girl is still gonna be alive, and the public is not gonna forget who you are. So why don't you just suck it up, stay out of the fucking news? Maybe we'll forget about you, and just go do your fucking time. That's number one. Number two, that's like me killing you and burning down your house, and saying, well, you know what? I'm gonna sue your surviving wife and child because if you hadn't, had a house, I wouldn't be able to burn it down. Like, it's fucking retarded. So fucking retarded. But that's just humans are just fucking hilarious. I don't know, Cap. Come on.
Okay. Oh, I have to chime in. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, the problem I have with this is he really believes that deep down he did the right thing. Like I think he still kind of is holding on to the fact that, yeah, I mean, I went and did those things, and I looked at these things, but come on already. Like, that's kind of like what I feel like this whole thing is. It's like, I mean, look what the parents did. Am I that bad? I mean, she got to go out all night while they did whatever. Yeah. I mean, would I ever have met her if that had happened? Like, that's crazy to me. But the lawyer has got to be like, yeah, sure, man, we'll file that for you, Jared. That seems like a winnable thing. Because there's definitely going to be at least one judge that's going to be like, oh yeah, I love Jared. Like no one loves Jared, and I can't
Not
believe.
anymore.
You know what's great to me about this whole thing? Let's move away from the whole child thing. That Subway is still like going strong. Like they like completely escaped any backlash. Like I haven't heard fucking shit about anything that they had this guy employed for like over a decade, and they're still fucking shelling out meatball sandwiches like nothing had happened. Like it's great. I mean, what a great PR team Subway has, right? I mean, has anything come up where it was like we should fucking not eat Subway? I mean, a guy could fucking protest the national anthem, and it's fucking bedlam. But meanwhile, Subway hired a pedophile for a decade to sell sandwiches, and no one talks about how Subway employed this guy. It's all about it was just him on his own.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
exactly.
fucking great. Like what a great PR team.
That's awesome.
I think it's just because I don't really like Subway. I just like that's what makes me more mad about it.
Well, you know what? I feel like it would be even funnier if they had like a spin, like one of those like spin masters, like kids love our footlongs or something crazy like that. Like some Jared's more of a 5-inch, 6-incher.
Yeah, I
Something
mean
like
that was. I mean when that first came out, that was all the jokes, and you were thinking like, "Geez, Subway's gonna real take a hit here." But nothing. No one said like, "I'm not going there." Like, no, I don't think they interviewed anybody that was like, "Fuck Subway." Meanwhile, like I said, you can't protest anything or say anything on Twitter without making a fucking huge firestorm controversy backlash. But this guy fucking Subway was like, no, that wasn't us. It's this fucking creep over here. Yeah, he likes our sandwiches, but I don't know who let this guy in. Sorry, guys. They should just. I wish there was just like a Sorry America commercial, where like there was another Subway guy there. Like it's like a new guy. He looks just like Jared. It's like Fred. Fred here also lost weight by eating Subway sandwiches. And guess what? He doesn't like children. Like something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like he passes the torch to like a non-pedophile spokesperson.
That would, yeah, that's I like that. I like that. It's like, hey, sir, what do you think about Subway? It's like, I never touch no kids. I'm just here for the chicken
I'm just here for
BLT.
salami.
Yeah, I'm here for the chicken teriyaki. That's
I'm
what
here for the Italian cold cut combo. I don't know about these kids. And fuck Jared. All right, so that's too much time with that asshole. Go on, let's move on.
All right, Kev, is it time?
It is. Okay, so this week's Marvel's Best is brought to you from the universe of Spider-Man, which you'll be noticing is mostly going to be where I'm drawing from because Spider-Man has like freaking so many allies and villains, and a lot of them are just shit. Like they are just completely like Spider-Man's like super powerful, and he fights like some of the shittiest guys. It's kind of like Batman in a way. It's like Batman has like Calendar Man and like the Rainbow Raider and shit like that. So Spider-Man's kind of along those lines. But this guy's he's actually one of his allies. So first of all, his real name is Buford T. Hollis, and he goes by the name of Razorback, and he is everything you would picture from a hard living, hard driving, trucking, food loving, barbecue redneck, and like he's all that in one. And the greatest thing is his power. All right, so Razorback's power is I'm just gonna read this. He he has the mutant ability to intuitively pilot, drive, or operate virtually any vehicle or mode of transportation, even if he doesn't know how the vehicle operates. Thus, he could fly the experimental Starblazer spacecraft despite never having seen it before. So you think, okay, that's kind of whatever. But the thing is, he drives a fucking 18-wheeler. He's like a CB radio using like 1970s like truck driver. Like I don't know if there was like big fad back then with like CB radios and like.
What's your 20? About 16 miles this side of Mississippi. Whoa, hold it. I just passed another Kojak with a Kodak. This place is crawling with bears. Where the hell are you? Come back.
I'm still trying to get rid of that Texas County Mountie. I don't know what the hell he wants.
You know what he wants. I mean, how would you like to be the dude that handcuffs a legend?
Listen, give me 5 minutes. We're going to put some moves on that mother. I'll meet you at Ole Miss.
Well, you better hurry or we can just kiss that money goodbye. You understand that?
I'll read you loud and clear. 10-4.
There's this breaker, one-nighter, the big stop mama. So this was like that character. But then when he showed up, the weird thing about him is that his costume was a giant boar's head. Like he had like a giant pig head on his head, and they never explained why. They never had any idea, like, Razorback got his pig head when he went to Big Al's barbecue and ate the 18-pound rib slicer, and then they gave him a souvenir boar's head helmet. So he's got this little like goofy head peeking out of the mouth of the pig's head.
Oh, God.
And if you touch the head, he can activate a thing in the top that can like electrocute you. Which again, I don't know where he got it from. They didn't explain it. So the whole thing is that yes, he knows how to drive like these trucks, and he makes like these trucks that have like these pig themed things on it. So he calls them big pigs. So he has like Big Pig 1 and Big Pig 2 and Big Pig 3 with extra barbecue sauce. But the cool thing is that NASA was like, oh shit, Razorback knows how to fly experimental spacecrafts. So like somehow NASA like contacted this motherfucker, probably by like CB radio, like, we need you, Razorback. So now he works for like NASA flying like spacecrafts and like floating in alien worlds and shit. So it's like this big dumb fucking redneck like talking about like, I just solved the likeness. It's like, yeah, that's Razorback for you. Well, when you see the picture, which I'm sure you'll put up, you'll go, how the fuck did that happen?
I saw it, but obviously it's posted up so everyone can see it. But I just love that. I mean, you have like an endless supply of just, they needed to fill some comic books. They couldn't come up with something sinister. I mean, he's a good guy. He helped Spider-Man, and he's like a duck. It's like, imagine if Duck Dynasty had like a helmet and just like solved crime somehow. That's exactly what it's like. And every week it's like.
And that's the great thing is like he's like this stereotypical redneck guy from like Alabama that like loves big rig trucks and all things. He probably loves like country music and like Waylon Jennings or some shit, Charlie Daniels. So I just thought that was interesting. I mean, and I think like I wish the guy hadn't died recently, but I think the fat guy from Varsity Blues would have been like the perfect choice to like play Razorback. Like the guy who played Billy Bob in Varsity Blues, like the big fat 300-pound guy, like, wee-haw, squeal some pigs. If he didn't die recently, boom, you had your fucking Spider-Man 4 right there, or whatever number they're up to.
So the Spider-Man movie, Michael Keaton's going to be the Vulture, right? That's happening.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. That's going to be cool. Yeah, and Marvel Studios finally has the rights to Spider-Man, so let's see if they get it right this time.
What is this? Will this be the 6th movie?
Yes, yeah, it's going to be the 6th movie. Yep, there was 3 from the Sam Raimi ones, and then 2 Amazing Spider-Mans, and this will be the 6th one. So we're on the 3rd reboot here. So, yep, should be interesting. But it's going to be the same kid from Civil War, which you haven't seen, which it comes out on the 13th. So we'll definitely be watching that. So another thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and I wanted to bring this up for a while, and I don't know how much you're going to be really into it. But I take my daughter to the playground and all that stuff, and we have a playground like right down the street. And for whatever reason, it's on a giant mound of sand. So I never understood that. Like, there's no fucking beach around. There's no body of water that exists. Why the fuck is there sand? Like, you gotta like take your shoes off. It's like, do I really want to walk on this right now? Like, for me, it's like, what happened to like hardcore concrete? Like, if you fall off the fucking monkey bars, like it's 2 skinned knees and there's blood dripping. The parents have to be called. You get sent home from school. Like, I want scabby knees. I want concussions. Like, I don't want to land on a. I mean, what happened? It's like the pussification of America, like in a nutshell. Like, we'll land on a nice mound of sand. It'll be fine. Your parents don't even have to watch you when you fall. Like
Or-
they could actually just leave the playground and they could just fuck around.
Instead of the concrete, remember when I was younger, we go to the parks and in the nicer areas before I guess they realized that sand is cheapest and safest. Remember they had the like black jigsaw puzzle piece rubber thing. It was like all the rubber things are like interlocked into each other. They would get like, you ever see that? It looked like blacktop, but it wasn't blacktop. It had a bounce to it. It was all, I guess, glued together. I never ripped it up, but that's what it was. It was like thick foam or rubber, and it was like interlocked, and it would get, in the sun, it would just like, it was like a rubber material. It would get like 900,000. It was like the temperature of the sun. So if you fell on it, yeah, great. It cushioned the blow of falling. So like I didn't get a scrape, but you would actually hear like when you fell, like kids just like writhing on the floor, like I'm burning. Like I remember that as a kid. That was the other, instead of sand, it was just like boiling hot. It was like playing on like a Teflon frying pan. I feel dizzy, mommy. So, but you know what is about the sand? Like I gotta be honest. Like most of especially here on the island, the place where I used to go do my family picnic in Smithtown. I forgot the name of the park. I'm sure a lot of people know it. It's same thing. The whole playground, the slides, all that other shit, is whatchamacallit, is all sand, and it has those. You ever see those things? When I was younger, I used to go. I used to I used to play with them. I'm too fat now, but it's like that. Just that spring coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
Like there's like a frog on top, and you like sit on. You're just like yay, like those kind of things. Like just like that was fun to a certain age. Like just sitting on that going like wee.
You know what's funny is that like you would realize like some of them like they'd probably been there for like 45 years. So some of them went like literally like you would be falling off the fucking thing. Like the spring would be just like completely ready to collapse. And then some you just be like, can this fucking thing move or what? Like can I get a little faster here? And you would know like the one that could be like semi like I'm gonna get thrown from this fucking thing right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was that at the playground. There was the slide. There was like this thing looked like a hamburger. What it was like a cage essentially with like a path going to it. You can go underneath and go into it, and then go out of the top of it and like climb around. Like it was and it was just again made of like wrought iron or steel, and it would just get. You playing out in the sun, and it would just be like 1,000 degrees. Like you can't touch it. It's like trying to go out in like the spacewalk on the fucking International Space Station. Like, oh god, I'm exposed to the elements.
Yeah, like some of those playgrounds, it was almost like American Ninja Warrior a little bit. You're like, Jesus. Yeah. Like, what's the age? Is there like, there should be like somebody like, you must be this tall to get on this tire swing. Like, some of that shit was like real dangerous.
It's still like that. I mean, I haven't been to my family picnic in years because like I don't fucking know these people. I don't see them all year.
I hate my family.
And you see them once a year. It's like, hey, so how's your life? You still alive, huh? That's all right. Okay, great. Good talking. But yeah, the same thing. They have. I remember there was one thing that every year, because they built it like 15 years ago. It's like the new addition to the park because the old park was just a sandbox with like slides and those spring things in it. So they built this like big thing, like you said, it was like Ninja Warrior. It was like grab on a thing and like slid, and you like hold on. If you fell, you just like broke your whole body. Like, how the fuck? That is fucked. Like who's gonna hold on to this the whole time? So
it's like, did our parents sign a waiver for this shit?
Yeah,
like how is this legal right now? This is like a lawsuit waiting to happen. Because I remember like my high school or my elementary school, they had this giant, like they built this amazing playground, and it was called Castle Ridge, and it was just all this different shit. But literally, like you would definitely see like at least like once a week some kid like come off like just screaming, crying, like hobbled because they try to do some stupid thing, and it wasn't even sand. That I remember it was like little rocks. It was like the whole playground was filled with like little stones. Like there's nothing to break your fall. Like everything was just sharp rocks. Like the rocks would be indented into your skin when you get up. You're like, oh, this is safe. Great.
Well, the one thing that was I remember being older. I was at the time maybe 15 or 16 when I first got there. It was a slide. It was a wide slide, like a 6-foot wide, 8 feet steep slide. But instead of it being just a silver slide, it was made of like all those rolly things. It was like a bunch of like rolling pins all the way down. So if you went down like they would roll with you. So what
Yeah.
happens is after a bunch of kids go, they're still rolling. Like the momentum of things are still spinning, and like one like 4-year-old had somehow gotten up there and like went down the slide, and it was just a nightmare. They would come down, and I saw either they would come down at like Mach 2 and like just completely miss the area, the soft spot, and just like fucking like skip onto the like just hit the concrete and like tumble like dare like fucking Evil Knievel, like just like tumbling and arms
Yeah.
spinning, or their clothes would get caught like in because like it was just like like imagine like 6 foot long beams with like a thin rubber on the outside that would spin independently of each other. And if you went down, if some were rolling one way and some were like your shirt would get sucked in for a second there, so they like stop them abruptly and then they fucking be spinning like vertically.
It reminds me of the scene from Temple of Doom when the
Oh,
guy
it
gets
was fucking
caught.
great. It was so great. And like you would slide down 2 or 3 times and then just stand at the bottom and just watch all the kids just like yeah, I'm having a good time, and crying at the bottom. Yay, crying at the bottom. Just a bunch of crying kids piled up at the bottom, like just in a pile of kids. Like, why'd you let me do this?
Sadness.
So yeah, I guess listen, you have a child, Kev, so you're gonna have to deal with this kind of nonsense for at least 8 more years, I guess. I don't know, 10 more years. Like,
So I don't know if I told you, but I was like thinking of something. Like I feel like the day that I know that I've made it is when I get a limousine and it has a swimming pool in it. Is there a thing that exists like that?
they have
They're like,
jacuzzis.
yeah, there is. Oh, okay, but
Mm.
I'm talking about like a real swimming pool. Like I want a limousine, or like everybody can see me swimming. Like as I drive by, like I'm literally like there's like beach balls. There's like a volleyball net. Like I want to like really like if I show up into town, like there's a big fucking party like on the limo. Like I just want to find that and get that. And the other thing I was thinking about, I want to get a boat, but I don't ever want to bring the boat to a body of water. I want to hire somebody to drive my car, and I want to be in the I want to be in the boat like while he's driving it around. And I never want to drive, but I always look like I'm pretending to like control the boat, but meanwhile it's really the guy in front driving. I think that would look really awesome because I always see these people lugging these big ass boats around, and I never see anybody on them. Like, why? Like, is that illegal or something? Like,
Probably.
can you? Well, let's make it legal. I think they don't even know. They think it's illegal, but I really think that'd be cool. Like if I had a boat, like I would never want to. I would be like, nope, sorry, I'm not driving in the fucking car. If you haven't noticed, I bought a giant boat for a reason. Like I want to be on like the LIE, like fucking just going like this on my boat. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
You know what though? I don't think anyone's gonna see that and go, "Hey man, that guy's cool." They're gonna be like,
They
"Oh, look at
totally
that."
would. They'd be like, why didn't I think of that?
No,
We
they
have a
won't.
boat. Yeah, the people that have boats are gonna be like, holy shit, this guy's doing what I thought you couldn't do.
No, people who have boats take the boat in the water. The people are gonna see you on the boat being pulled by a pickup truck and go, "Oh, that poor retarded man. He's so retarded."
But
Like,
what if
with
like
your
okay,
captain's
so
hat,
what
like,
if I'm in like bumper to bumper traffic and we're stopped and you just hear like Steppenwolf Born to Be Wild blast and I'm like flipping burgers on the grill that I have on my boat. I'm fucking having a great ass time. It's just me though. I don't want anybody else in the boat. It's just me. I'm having a fucking blast by myself. And
oh,
I think everybody would be like, you know what? That's fucking cool, man. And I bet you they'd be asking, like, hey, can you make me one? Do you have any hot dogs? I'm more of a hot dog guy.
maybe in traffic, if I look over and there's a guy in a boat, like having a party by himself, I guess maybe I'd be like, I'd rather be doing that than be sitting in traffic. But just driving around, no. People are gonna be like, "Oh my god, that guy has no idea. He doesn't know."
But
He
I
doesn't
wouldn't,
know.
you know what? Fuck long trips. I would do it just to go to the gas station. We go to gas up, and I'm just like, I'm in the back, like, what up? $20 regular. Like, I think it'd be awesome. Like, I think people would really. Do you ever see that? I never once saw that, and I think
I
it
don't
needs to
know.
come
I
back.
don't know. I might have seen it and just like tuned it out because I'm
And I'm
busy.
sure like people like would tell like, do you ever take this thing to the water? Like you live near the ocean. It's like no, fuck no. Like all these other assholes, that's what they like to do. I'm the guy that doesn't like to do it. I like to just fucking drive it around. And I'm not even driving. I'm hiring somebody else. I'm hiring some guy. It's not going to be my wife. It's not going to be someone I know. It's a guy I'm paying to drive me around.
Where to,
Oh,
Mr. McClure?
all right.
Definitely not the water.
I set
All
goals
right.
for myself, and I hope
I
it'll
think
come.
I think we'll end the show on that note of Kevin's fantasy of just spending 30 grand on a boat just to get pulled around in traffic. That's nice. I like that.
And what are they going to do? They're going to pull me over and go, "You can't do that." All right, no problem. Is there tickets for that? I don't even know. Probably not, right? There's no rule for that. Bullshit. There's no rule. We got to look it up. I know there's no rule. The cop's just going to, can you just go in the other car? Thanks. Oh, sorry. I'll let you off with a warning this time. That's what's going to happen. All right.
I guess so. I don't know. Fucking. All right, I'm just gonna stop the recording and.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch no bandit run.